got through this time. Okay, stream's back. Yeah, it disconnected somehow. I never lost Wi-Fi, so I don't know what happened, but I'm back on now. Let me know when I can go. All right, thanks. Just send me a text. Thank you. Bye. Except I missed everything that happened. I'm just gonna make some stuff up. Newton definitely walked. Back here once more at Crocker High School. First of all, apologies. I'll get you caught up here in just a moment. We are still in the bottom of the fifth, the 3-1 count. Runners on first and second. Wish I could tell you I know what went wrong there, but I really don't. But Graham Todd fires in the 3-1 here to Landon Pierce. Misses inside. That's ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up here by Todd, which means the bases are loaded. 2 outs. But before we get to Trip Caldwell, it's going to be a visit to the mound here for Plato. So, again, apologies. Don't really know what happened. We did not lose internet. That's usually the cause of all of my problems. That didn't happen this time. So, I don't know. And we're not going to worry about it. What we do know is we are back on here. It looks like everything that was a problem has been fixed. And so, we'll just kind of worry about all that later. But we are going to get a pitching change here. Looks like Hayden Pinkston's going to take over from here. And so, we're going to send you right back over to a break. We're going to take ourselves about 2 minutes or so. We'll come back. We'll tell you, well, I've already told you who the new pitcher is. Well, let's get you going here. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. We're still tied up, 2 apiece. You're listening to Class 2 District 9 Baseball, Z102.3.
Lakeway R5 schools are proud of the academic success of their youth. Hard work and dedication of the students is what it takes to achieve goals. The Lakeway R5 schools are dedicated to the education of their students, and the teachers and administration work hard to prepare them for the future. Lakeway R5 schools encourages students to be involved in school activities. This message of support brought to you by Lakeway R5 schools.
When you or your loved ones need healthcare services, the last things you should have to worry about are where to go, how to get there, or how you're going to pay for it. Phelps Health offers convenient locations in Rolla, Salem, St. James, Vienna, and Waynesville. With services available to assist with insurance coverage, payment options, and transportation, caring for yourself and your family has never been easier. Please visit phelpshealth.org to learn more. Phelps Health, your health, our mission.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
When the chaos is over and the dust settles, it's a relief to see that big old tree you've always loved still there, unharmed and confident. Confidence that brings about trust and comfort from a full-service bank right here in your own community. Your one stop for savings, checking, home equity and auto loans, and CDs and money markets. That's your protection from the storm.
The Bank of Iberia in 2 locations, Iberia and Waynesville. Come on in to the Bank of Iberia.
Again, Hayden Pinkston, new pitcher here for the Plato Eagles, as he will take over on the mound. Also, a few other changes as well. It looks like a new man behind the plate. Ryan Steinbrink will take things over as your catcher. Graham Todd, meanwhile, he moves over to short. So, it's a 1-for-1 trade, triangle trade if you will, or however you want to coin the phrase. Pinkston on the mound. Actually, it's going to be Garrett over at third. So actually, it's more like a square trade. I'm confusing myself now, but what you need to know is, well, you've got Pinkston on the mound, Steinbrink behind the plate, and now left side of the infield here in Todd and Garrett. But again, Connor game, it's a big spot here. At the plate, Trip Caldwell. 1 for 2 in today's game, now facing a 2-0 count. Pinkston needs to make sure that he doesn't walk home a run here. Those 3 runners are the responsibility of outgoing starter Graham Todd, but for the sake of the team, you want to keep those runners away. Stats are not as important as the win. 2-1. Fastball finds the inside half. Next offering from Pinkston. Here's a swing, line drives, now toward right center. That's a base hit. Crocker leads. 1 run will score. 2nd run will come home to score as well. Not going to look for 3. They'll get the sign to hold, but it's a 2 RBI single for Trip Caldwell, his 2nd hit of the game. Crocker leads 4-2. Caldwell coming through in a big spot there with his 2nd base hit of the day, scoring Anderson and Newton. His 4 unanswered runs have turned this game on its head. So those 2 runs, again, the responsibility of Todd. Runner over on third, still the responsibility of Todd, but now a runner on first in Caldwell. First and third, here is Jesse Goldsmith. Trying to keep the train moving here. First pitch, missing low and inside. Caldwell going to be caught between first and second. They're going to try to score the run. Here comes the throw home. And now they're going to get caught in a run down between third and home. Garrett has it. Throw now over to Pinkston. Pinkston going to try to tag Pearson. He does. And so the run will not score. And the inning does end. So, Crocker finds what they need, though. They do get the 2 runs on a 2 RBI single for Trip Caldwell. So we have 2 more innings left to play. Crocker leads 4-2. Back in 60, you're listening to Class 2, District 9 Baseball, Z102.3.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See John Gregory and Crocker about Shelter Insurance's auto, home, and life options. Imagine yourself in a time where quality and durability weren't just words when value was placed on workmanship. Pennaroyal Antiques and Collectibles at 122 Commercial Street in Crocker has Victorian and primitive furniture from the 18 and 1900s. You'll find rare documents and many unusual items like antique and collectible toys, military items, and vintage clothing. Thousands of items available, and if you don't see it in the store, ask for it at Pennaroyal Antiques. There's also something from the past called customer service. Pennaroyal Antiques and Collectibles Friday and Saturday of every month from 10 to 4 or by appointment at 855-3259.
Top of the 6th here in Crocker. 4-2 now our score. The Crocker Lions, they get 2 runs, both with 2 outs. 4 runs today with 2 outs. They lead this one 4-2. but with Plato coming back to the plate. Connor Harbert here with you today. Z102.3. As Carson Garrett will look to start the Plato comeback effort. Have not scored since the first inning, but still very much in this ballgame. 6 outs to work with, taking the first pitch here from Adam Newton low for ball 1. Newton's still in the ballgame here, working in his 6th inning of work. So next pitch here to Garrett, swung on, missed, 4 strike 1. One and one now from Newton. Going back to the breaking ball, missing outside. 2-1. As I work on finishing Todd's line for the day. The outgoing Plato starter. Everybody gangsta until they try to count innings. Goes 4 1/3 today. As the count goes 3-1. Here, meanwhile, on the Plato battle, Garrett. Here's a swing on the 3-1. Pop up, left side, foul territory. Pierce going to give it a look, but it ultimately ricochets off the top of the dugout for 3-2. There we go. We'll have that for you when we get to the bottom of the 6th, but for now, it's a full count here on Garrett. 5, 6, and 7, payoff pitch. Swung on, fly ball, right side, but again, hooking foul and out of play. Garrett, Pinkston, Atterbury. Garrett, who again came in from left field, is now over at third. Here's the next payoff pitch. Swung on, this time it's fair. Fly ball, left center, that could be trouble, and it gets down. It's a base hit for Garrett as he's going to round first. He's going to try to make it 2. Throw's not going to be there. It's going to be a standing double to lead things off here for Garrett. So Garrett gets aboard, our first extra base hit of the day. It's all been singles up to this point. And so the tying run comes back to the plate here. Here's Hayden Pinkston. Pinkston represents that tying run, at least at this point. Go-ahead run represented by Atterbury in the on-deck circle. See what Pinkston can generate here. Still nobody out. First pitch, too low, ball 1. Pinkston left-handed batter, so again, yet another lefty matchup. This our pitcher v. pitcher matchup with Pinkston taking over. Here's a swing, fly ball sent out towards center. Trying to cut bump on it is the center fielder Smith. He makes the catch. Makes the catch underhanded. That records out number 1. Keeps the tying run at the plate, keeps the third Plato run over on second, and makes Tanner Atterbury that tying run. So Atterbury settling in here, 1 for 2. Singled last time up, but was caught between home plate and third. Caught in a rundown and eventually tagged out. First pitch here, swung on, missed, strike 1. Remember, that was that very contentious top of the 4th. Felt like we spent more time arguing, talking about calls than actually playing the game. 0-1 now delivered by Newton. Breaking ball, way out in front, but it does go to the backstop. Garrett taking off for third. He's going to be there easily. It'll be a wild pitch. Don't see a whole lot of strikes that end up being wild pitches, but that one will go down. As the count goes to 0-2, Newton looking to pick up another strikeout and will put the pressure on the Eagles here in this half inning. Here is that 0-2 pitch, fastball, too low. Bush keeps it in front of him, 1-2. Starting to get a little chilly out here today. I brought a hoodie. Might have to make use of it here. 1-2. Newton fires. Ball fouled off. Atterbury just barely caught a piece of that one. Keeps himself alive. I wasn't going to bring it, and then I said, you know what? It's going to be like 8 o'clock. And I convinced myself, and it's good to see that my inner monologue worked out. Next 2-strike pitch. Here's a ground ball over to second. Play is going to go 4-3, but importantly, that does score the run. So Atterbury is going to get an RBI for his troubles as Plato cuts the lead to 1 here. It's 4-3. Up next, number 10, Drew Woodruff. So Garrett scores after his leadoff double. Brought home by Atterbury. Base paths now empty, 2 outs. Here's Andrew Woodruff. Woodruff, first one. Well, that pretty much caught everybody. That hit Woodruff. That hit Bush. Did it hit the umpire too? I'm not quite sure, but Woodruff took one off the helmet. Bush definitely looks like he's not happy about where that one hit him. He's up and moving around. Looks like he's all right. Never feels good, but Woodruff will take his base. Woodruff's all right, too. He was able to go down to first. Bush popped up and threw that helmet down. Coach Shelton now in the dugout to talk things over with him. Bush is good. Always good to see. And we'll get going here. Hate to make light of 2 players getting hit at the same time, but that ball legitimately caught both of them in the head. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Like I said, I don't even know if the umpire got hit too. Wouldn't that be something? So, with Woodruff on first, brings time called at the plate. Waters will step out, now step back in. It is the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Glad you could join me here, Z102.3. Plato's cut the lead here to 4-3 in the top of the 6th. That tying run over on first. First pitch of the at-bat to Waters. Taken, strike 1. Go-ahead run now at the plate here. Plato can find some 2-out magic. We know Waters can't hit the ball. He's done it twice tonight. Needs to do it again. Pickoff throw to first. But Woodruff's back. On deck, Blake Holloway. Back to the top of the order after this. Next pitch. Fouls it off. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here on Waters. Newton looking for another strikeout tonight. Hasn't struck anybody out since the 4th inning. But has kept Plato in check. Largely since the 1st inning. Of course, the 1-run scoring here. Pickoff throw. Got Woodruff in a rundown. He's going to take off towards second. He's going to try to slide in there, but he's tagged out. And so, that does bring the inning to a close. Very similar play to what we saw in the previous inning. But Woodruff going to find the same result. He's tagged out. And so we know it'll be do or die for Plato in the 7th. So, we'll see what Crocker can do in the bottom of the 6th. No, 1 run. 1 hit. No errors. Nobody left on base. Let's go ahead and move on in here to the bottom of the 6th. Crocker, one last chance here to try to extend upon this lead. 4-3 our score. You're listening to the Class 2 District 9 Baseball Tournament, Z102.3.
As the years go by, everything gets older. Even the new seeds just planted. Getting older means getting wiser. And in the banking business, that means keeping up with the times. For 112 years, the Bank of Crocker has met the needs of the Fort Wood area and exceeded those needs with the most modern banking services available. With Android and Apple mobile banking apps. And at bankofcrocker.com, online banking is a click away no matter where you are. Personal hometown service, however, has not changed. That's one thing that's stayed the same as the Bank of Crocker turns 112. The Bank of Crocker, with 4 locations in Crocker, Richland, Waynesville, and St. Robert. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Throughout the nation, our community will take time in April to recognize the contributions of children whose parents serve in the military. Frequent moves, family separations through deployments, and reintegration following deployments can make school, home, and community life challenging for military children. Newcomb Hardware in Crocker and Iberia reminds us, even in such circumstances, these military kids continually demonstrate resilience and courage. Say thanks to military children and recognize them for the sacrifices they make to allow their parents to serve. This message from Newcomb Hardware in Crocker and Iberia.
Bottom of the 6th. One last chance here for Crocker to try to extend upon their lead before we head on into a, well, potentially decisive 7th. Jesse Goldsmith at the plate. Man at the plate when the 5th inning ended. Well, we'll try it again here. 0-1 count. Hayden Pinkston remains on the mound here. Delivers one inside. 1-1 now. Again, with runners at the corners, Crocker trying to do the rundown play. Trying to get that runner caught between first and second while also trying to score the run. Did not work out in their favor. Next pitch, too low, 2-1. Goldsmith 0 for 2 today. Ground out to the pitcher and a strikeout. Pinkston through the windup, 2-1, delivered low. Ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike here. Again, every run for Crocker in this half inning is insurance. Here's the 3-1. Too low, ball 4. They don't need any runs per se. But these runs, they would be pretty nice for Crocker. So Goldsmith aboard for the first time tonight on the walk. Coming up to the plate, Tyler Bush. Bush 1 for 2. Squaring up to bunt here, pulls it back, pitch misses low, gets away, but not far enough from Steinbrink. Runner stays put over on first. Bush also flew out to right back in the 2nd inning. Pinkston steps off the mound. Get time called here, now going to reclaim. On deck here, that would be Colin Braslin. The next pitch is delivered. Trying to bunt, pops one up. Garrett moving up on it, makes the catch. And that's out number 1. Bush trying to chase that pitch up high, ends up popping up the bunt. And from there, it's an easy rundown for Garrett. Make the catch and record that first out. Goldsmith still over on first. Coming up next, Colin Braslin once more. Another player 0 for 2 today. First offering to the left fielder Braslin is taken for called strike 1. Bottom of the lineup today hasn't been the most productive here for Crocker. All the runs have come from the top. Did have Bush record a single earlier. It also depends on what you mean by bottom of the order. Next pitch, high and inside, taking off for second is Goldsmith. He's going to be thrown out by a mile. Steinbrink with the throw behind the plate. Goldsmith slide, that runner on the base paths. There's now 2 down and an 0-1, a 1-1 count. This game's had its fair share of runners thrown out on the base paths today. It might be a big deal in the grand scheme of things as the 1-1's delivered low, 2-1. Our scoreboard's lagging just a little bit behind. There we go. Eli Harrison on deck if the inning continues on. Next one, Braslin swinging away, but fouls one off. 2-2. Two's on the board here, 2-2. Pinkston delivers off the helmet. And Braslin will take his base. So Pinkston loses the 2-strike count. Puts one that grazes the dome of Braslin. He's okay. Over to first. And now here comes once more the correctly identified Eli Harrison. Of course, I jest and I tease our PA announcer over there. On Saturday, couldn't tell the difference between Connor Harrison of Lakeway and the Richland starter, Mason Michaels. Interchanged their last name for about 6 of that 7-inning game. It happens. It's all in good fun. Pickoff throw over to first, but Braslin getting back. Again, Harrison, the number 9 hitter, would go back to the top of the order if he manages to keep this inning alive. Kingston now working again from the stretch. Fires in the next pitch, way out in front of the plate. It's 1-0. Harrison today struck out in the 1 low, 1 high, 2-0. No runs across for Crocker here in this half inning. But again, just trying to find a little bit more insurance. What has been a low-scoring game. 2-0. This time caught the upper edge, 2-1. Winner of this one, facing Iberia tomorrow. The Rangers dominant today. Dominant for much of the season. But not impossible to beat. Remember, Crocker, only a couple weeks ago, got close to beating the Rangers, but fell 3-2 on a game-winning base hit. Crocker, a 7-run win over Plato this season, a 5-run win over Plato this season, but this time not so easy. Having to work for it here. 2 outs, a 3-1 count. Lead over on first, pitch taken, strike 2. Full count. Full count, 2 outs, runner on first, going to be taken off with the pitch. Has to be careful for that pickoff throw, but as soon as you see him heading towards home, you take off. We're going to get a result here. Here comes that payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a 1-run game heading into the 7th. So, Kingston finds a strikeout, but Plato will need 1 run. 1 run to tie, 2 runs to take the lead. Here in the top of the 7th, coming up next for Crocker, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. We'll see what happens. Decisive 7th, potentially coming up next. You're listening to the Class 2 District 9 tournament right here at Z102.3.
At Town & Country Bank, we are committed to providing exceptional service to our customers. We do more than just provide loans for our community. We help make dreams become a reality. Whether it's a new home, farm, business, or a new car, we would love the location. Friendly Solutions. Town & Country Bank. In Bourbon, Salem, St. James, Rolla, and Licking. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
We care for them.
Hey, Mr. Gibson. Good morning.
Hey there, honey.
Take wonderful care of them.
All right, here's your morning meds and your coffee, just how you like it. 1 cream,
2
sugars.
And we'll go to the ends of the earth to protect them. You can count on that.
Life Care Center of Waynesville believe in treating patients and residents as family members, focusing on inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation with 24-hour skilled nursing care. We are proud to also offer a secured Alzheimer's and dementia care unit, 700 Birch Lane in the heart of Waynesville.
Well, here we go. Top of the 7th. Coming up next, Adam Newton still on the mound here for the Crocker Lions. He's going to be the man tasked with trying to keep this Plato offense from getting any runs whatsoever. 1 run ties things up. 2 runs, and well, suddenly you're playing for your district championship hopes. So let's see what happens here. It's going to be 9, 1, and 2 coming up here for the Eagles. Waters, Holloway, Steinbrink. Those are going to be your 3 that are guaranteed. The most important player is the man who represents that tying run. Right now, that's Cole Waters as he stands in. Takes a first pitch outside. It's ball 1. Again, like I said, Adam Newton still on the mound here. He was today's starter. He's pitched 3 complete games this season. 1-0. Inside, ball 2. Waters today, he's 1 for 2. He's actually at the plate at the end of the previous inning when Andrew Woodruff was thrown out trying to advance to second. Was caught stealing. 2-0 now. Outside, 3-0. Doesn't matter how you get aboard here if you're Plato, if I'm being honest with you. Just get aboard. 3-0. Newton rocks and fires. 3-0. Down the pipe, strike 1. Waters single, came back in the second. So left stranded on third, though. Reach on a fielder's choice, and again stranded on third in the 5th. Here's a line drive over towards second. Leaping up is Eli Harrison, who makes the grab for the first out of the inning. Plato down now to its final 2 outs. Harrison makes the grab over at second. That brings us to the top of the order. See if we can get some top of the order heroics for Plato. Here's Blake Holloway. Holloway represents 1 of those 3 runs. First pitch too high, ball 1. That came all the way back in the first. Single, reached second on a pass ball, and later scored on an RBI single for Lane Johnson. Or somewhere thereabouts. Actually, do not think it was Johnson's single. It was actually on the play that involved 2 Crocker errors. 1-0 finds the mark, 1-1. Now the next offering, outside, 2-1. Two and one out. Plato down to 2 outs. Next one. Finds his zone. Strike 2. Even count. Holloway's also laid down a sacrifice and a strikeout. So 1 for 2, actually. If I already said 1 for 3, I apologize. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Caught the upper half. Strike 3. Plato down to its final out. Holloway strikes out looking. And Newton 1 out away from a complete game. But Plato
up next, catcher,
still has that final out. You know, time going to be called here. Hold the phone. So we'll actually talk things over here. Coach Shelton again out of the dugout. Might you think about pitch count? Could be pitch count. Wouldn't that be a little tragic? We'll see what happens here. Shelton makes his way up to the mound. And yep, I think that might be it. We'll see. Newton's still standing up there with the ball in hand. But, nope, that'll be it here for Newton. So, the pitch count, unfortunately, means no complete game here today for Newton. He'll go 6 2/3, though, as he will make his way out toward the outfield here. Our new pitcher, it'll be Jackson Burney. Burney going to look to close things out here. We'll take ourselves a short break. We'll come back. 2 outs. Plato down to their final out. Bases empty. 4-3 ball game. You're listening to the Class 2 District 9 Tournament, Z102.3.
I'm Elijah Dowden, your Heritage Bank of the Ozarks local lending specialist. Are you ready for a leg up in our competitive real estate market? Have you thought about getting pre-approved before you start house hunting? Learn your max loan amount and let sellers know you are a serious buyer. Call 417-228-9795 today and we'll walk you through the entire process. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gasco Sage Electric is owned by their consumer members who use their electricity and other services. They've been providing services to Camden, Marys, Miller, Phelps, and Pulaski counties since 1945. Much like electricity, Gasco Sage considers broadband internet to be an essential service, not just in the big cities, but right here in the rural communities they serve. They work hard at making a difference in the futures of the communities they serve. As a new G-Tech Fiber customer, you can soon be part of their high-speed fiber-to-home broadband network. Give them a call today, 573-759-7146.
Back to it here once more. Jackson Burney. He's the man who's going to be tasked to find 1 more out. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 4-3 ball game as the pitch count claims a victim here tonight. Adam Newton going 6 2/3 innings. But he'll move out to center field. Burney taking things from here. Going to try to retire here. Ryan Steinbrink, who stands in, takes a first pitch strike. Steinbrink going to need to find some hero ball here. So for 2 in today's game, ground ball, third base side, but foul. And Plato's down to its final strike. Laid down a sacrifice in the first, lined out to the pitcher in the second, and popped out to second in the 5th. So Steinbrink trying to find anything he can. Any way you could get on will work. Burney working from the windup. The 2-strike pitch. Line drive right side, but foul. Oh, they called it fair. Steinbrink getting around first. He's going to try to head for second. He's going to find his way in. It's a 2-out double. Hold the phone here. Tying runs aboard in scoring position. That one somehow, and I'll tell you what, it certainly didn't look like it was going to off the bat, found fair territory, and the tying run stands on second. So Steinbrink finds himself a double. And now it'll be Graham Todd, who tries to find a way to bring him in. No outs to work with. Cannot move him forward on a sacrifice fly. You can't ground out while somehow moving the runner along. You got to find a hit, or a walk, or anything to just keep the line moving. First pitch misses. Down low, 1-0. Bernie checks on second. Next pitch. Gets away to the backstop it goes. Taking off for third is Steinbrink. He'll be there. And that tying run stands 90 feet away. 2-0 count. Go down as a wild pitch. But Todd now just needs to find a way. 4-3 ball game, 2-0 count. Steinbrink dancing off of third. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Remember, a walk, kind of important for Plato too. He's still at the top of the 7th. The tying run's the most important, but a go-ahead run, got to think about it too. Bernie stepping off the mound, now reclaims. Time still called though. Now we'll get going. 3-0 count. Bernie through his windup. The pitch. Taken all the way. Strike 1. On deck, Lane Johnson. If the inning continues on. Ball game is tied at 4. The wild pitch. Ball 4 puts the go-ahead run over on first. A wild pitch got him to third. And a wild pitch brings him home. A 2-out double by Steinbrink. Gave Plato a chance. And they've come through here. But will we be tied? Or will Crocker have a chance for the winner in the bottom of the 7th? We'll have a chance for the winner, no matter what. But will they need just 1 run to do it? That's the question you ask now. So Todd stands on first. And here's Lane Johnson. Johnson today, he is 2 for 3. Pickoff throw to first. Todd getting back. His second game has delivered tonight. Spot in the district championship game on the line. One of these teams will face Iberia tomorrow. Bernie coming set. Another pickoff throw, though. Now he'll step back in. Johnson's 2 singles came back in the first and the third. Weak ground out to the catcher back in inning number 5. Next pitch, breaking ball. That's actually going to be strike 1. 0-1, 2 outs. Again, runner on first. We are on the top. Meaning if that run scores, obviously, Crocker still gets a chance in the bottom of the 7th. Here's a swing. Fly ball sent out toward left. Underneath it is Braslin. Actually has to move up on it, but he does find it and make the catch to end this inning. So Plato, well, they found what they needed for the first part. Well, now they'll need to try to hold. As Crocker, they'll look to find a run and end this game here in regulation. So we're heading on into the bottom of the 7th. We're all tied up at 4. 1 run on 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner who left on base. We'll see if Crocker can get it done back in 60. Class 2 District 9 tournament right here at Z102.3.
For over 50 years, Post Pawn in St. Robert has been offering the best prices in the area on firearms, ammunition, and shooting and reloading supplies. Also find new and used military clothing and gear, as well as pre-owned power tools and compound bows, and new and used musical instruments and supplies. Get a 90-day layaway on anything. And if you have your guns shipped to Post Pawn or selling them to another individual, They only charge a $25 transfer fee. That's Post Pawn in the Gateway Shopping Center in St. Robert.
If you are seeking employment and love working around children, the Plato School District is looking for you. The Plato School District is currently seeking qualified applicants for bus drivers and sub-bus drivers to drive routes. To apply for this or any other open positions, all you need to do is go online to platorv.org. Click on the menu button and scroll down to employment. Online applications are available. Positions and descriptions are outlined. The Plato RV School District is an equal opportunity employer.
New pitcher into the ball game here for Plato as we move on into the bottom of the 7th. Lane Johnson going to take over here. He'll take over for the outgoing reliever, Hayden Pinkston. Plato throws its 3rd reliever here in this game, and Johnson comes in a high pressure situation. Tied up 4 apiece, bottom of the 7th. 1 run across, and this one's over. So, we'll see what he can get going here. We'll see what he can do. As Pinkston does stand over at 3rd. Carson Garrett now over at 1st. And again, Graham Todd standing over at short. That's your infield. Tanner Atterbury still over at 2nd. Hitting here for Crocker. It's your top of the order. 1, 2, and 3. The top of the order has generated all 4 Crocker runs here today. They're trying to find 1 more. So, Connor Harvard here with you today. Z102.3. I'm shaking for multiple reasons. 1, it's cold. Colder. And 2, this is exciting. I live for this. District baseball. Playoff baseball. Doesn't matter what level. High school, college, pros. When you get to that postseason, it just means so much more. Your season's on the line. First pitch here to Jackson Burney. Called strike 1. Caught the inner half of the plate. It also means I get to get through my sponsor list a little more. 0-1 now delivered by Johnson. That one also looks good, and it's called strike 2. Plato, they want to move this game into extra innings here today. Plato's going to need extra innings if they want to win this one. Burney, his day today, he's 1 for 3. Now time called. It's Ryan Steinbrink behind the plate. He'll trot out to the mound here to talk things over with Johnson. So we can close the door on Pinkston here. He goes 1 2/3 today. Gives up no runs. Does give up a hit. Obviously no home runs. 1 strikeout. And 1 walk. Very quick line there for Pinkston today. 0-2, swung on and missed. And that's strike 3. So Burney strikes out. Bringing us to Eli Anderson. Anderson, wish I could tell you what his line is today, but you might remember we had those connectivity issues. I unfortunately did not see how Anderson got on base in the 5th. So I couldn't tell you, but I do know he does have an RBI single today. That came back in the 3rd. And that he did, in fact, score in the 5th. He's on 2nd when we got back to it. So the 0-1's delivered by Johnson, too low, 1-1. It's also flown out to right. That came back in the 1st. So 1's on the board here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 4-4 our score, bottom of the 7th. Now time called here. Again, Steinbrink coming out from behind the plate. We'll talk things over and come right on back. So we'll get back to it. Johnson from the windup. Going through the 1-1 now. Way outside to the backstop, but nobody on to take advantage. And we go 2-1. Adam Newton on deck. In fact, Newton running down that wild pitch. No instruction necessary. You can tell that's a good disciplined ball player. 2-1, misses low, 3-1. That was a dumb joke even by my standards. I don't know why I said that, but it's 3-1 here too. Again, Eli Anderson. "3-1 delivered now. Looks good. Called as such. Strike two will go to a full count. That is not strike three. Steinbrink attempting to go around the horn. Pinkston, not the pitcher anymore. Standing over at third. Appreciate the thought. Full count, payoff pitch, delivered by Johnson. Inside, ball four, and your winning run's over on first. Just missed the inside half. And so, how does Crocker move Anderson around? Do they look for a sacrifice? Do they let Newton swing away? Do they send Anderson? Do they try to have him steal second? He does have one steal today. What do you do? We'll see here as Newton settles in. 1 for 2 in today's game. Anderson jumping off first. He's got about a 2-step lead. But now time going to be called as Newton heads up the third base line. To speak with Coach Shelton. Of course, Steinbrink and Johnson will also use the opportunity to talk things over themselves. As the lights, well, they take full effect. The sun's gone down. Just a glimmer of light to our left. 8:30 here on this Wednesday evening. Johnson comes set. First pitch the at-bat. Too low. Ball one. And Newton flew out to right in the first. An RBI single in the third. Walked in the fifth and later scored. Was that fourth and final run for Crocker at this point in the game. Pickoff throw to first. Almost. Gets by Garrett, but nicely gloved over there. We'll continue to wait that 1-0. Good spot for the throw, maybe just a little bit higher. Made me sweat a bit. 1-0. Catches the upper half, 1-1. Ground ball here. Potentially would be huge. If you could turn two off of it, or at least get that lead runner. 1-1. Here's a swing. Foul ball. Cleared the fence. 1-2. News coming in today. Lakeway Lady Hornets securing the district championship. Congratulations to them. 5-1 win. Dominant, too. Lakeway, always a soccer powerhouse. 1-2, taking off for second, but that ball's going to hit him. And second base is just going to be given to Anderson. Winning run, now in scoring position with one out. Things are getting hairy here as Johnson puts Newton aboard, but that runner does not matter. It does in a certain way, as it does give you somebody out there in case Anderson's thrown out somehow. But the only runner that truly matters right now is Anderson on second. He scores, game ends. We're going to have a full team visit here on the mound. The next batter up will be your cleanup hitter, Landon Pierce. Pierce no hits today, but the cleanup hitter's always the cleanup hitter. Pierce came into this game batting at .444, an on-base percentage of .533. He certainly earned that spot. Only one player on this team batting better than that, that being the man who just got hit by the pitch, Adam Newton. So you've got the player you want. That's what I'm trying to say here. Got the player you want in this spot. He's just looking for that breakthrough hit. But will we still see Johnson? Yes, we will. So no pitch and change here. He's going to be the man continue to ask, or he's going to be continue to be relied upon here. So Anderson stands on second, Newton on first. And Pierce settling into the right-hand side of the batter's box. Pierce 0 for 2 today. One hit changes everything. First offering. Swung on, ground ball over toward first. Garrett scoops it up, going to race Pierce to the bag, steps on first for out number 2. Now winning run does advance over to third. They get the out, and that is perhaps the most important thing. 3 unassisted, and they get by Pierce. And all they need now is an out. But another dangerous bat coming up here, Trip Caldwell, especially in the context of this game. Caldwell's the one who tied this game up, as actually we're going to get an intentional walk. So, well, forget about that. That's actually, got to say, the smart choice, with Caldwell swinging the bat well today, and also first base being unoccupied. Walk him, get a force at any bag, and face Jesse Goldsmith, who is 0 for 2. When you look at the numbers, that's definitely the wise choice. But that does give Goldsmith a chance to be that hero. All he needs to do is find some room. First pitch, missing inside, it's ball 1. Do remember, though, with that runner now on first, a walk ends the game. A wild pitch ends the game. Any way that gets that runner home ends the game. 1-0 now delivered by Johnson. Outside, 2-0. Goldsmith, 1 walk today, a strikeout and a ground out. To 2-0 count. Goldsmith steps back in. Johnson delivers. Up high, 3-0. 1 more pitch outside the zone, and this one ends. Will not bet on Goldsmith swinging at this next pitch. Johnson comes home with it. Up high, ball 4. Crocker's headed to the district championship. So the intentional walk does end up hurting Plato in the end. It's a smart choice, but a good eye for Jesse Goldsmith brings Crocker to tomorrow's game. So in the end, it is the 1 and the 2 seed. Plato puts up a great fight here tonight, but a bases-loaded walk brings this one to a close. So we're going to do what we always do. Of course, we'll take ourselves a little bit of time. I'll get my lines in order here, and then we'll wrap it up, set you up for tomorrow. Iberia and Crocker. We'll be back here in 3 minutes with your postgame. You're listening to the Class 2 District 9 Baseball Tournament. Again, your final, by the way. Crocker 5, Plato 4. You're listening to the Class 2 District 9 Baseball Tournament, Z102.3.
Role models are more important than ever in today's society. You can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners and are also vital to preserving our fine sports traditions. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember